Hello, my name is John Teply, and I am here with Randy Pigeon. And we have the great privilege to be honored to be interviewing with Jill Perry Townsend. She lives in Lincoln City. She received her BFA from the Massachusetts College of Art. She is shown in the Loveland Invitational Sculpture Show in Loveland, Colorado, as well as the Sitka Invitational. Currently, she is represented by the Sculptors Gallery in Portland and the Rhine Gallery in Lincoln City. And you could also see her work at the Volta Gallery. She was also the director for the Center of Marine Conservation in Washington, D.C. Hi, Jill.
Hi. Actually, I was the art director for the Center for Marine Conservation.
The art director, okay.
But I haven't been that in a long time. That was a long time ago.
Well, it's part of your history, and often our beginnings and where we've been, continue to inform us, I think.
Yeah, you've been at it for a really long time. It's pretty evident.
So Jill's body of work has two main styles. One is sculpture, and the other is painting. And what I love about your sculpture is how I've always liked how in the Renaissance, the figure had become the embodiment of expression. All the great themes and challenges of being human could be expressed by the figure. And, and that was amazing, and especially in the hands of people like Michelangelo and Raphael. And then in your landscape work, that's also really interesting. Where what I love about it is you're not quite trying to get the landscape exactly how it looks. I mean, in fact, it seems like you take the color and value wheel and kind of tweak it like about 20, 30 degrees, to a palette that that you feel is expressive.
Yeah.
What I also think is interesting is how with sculpture, with doing bronze, which is the most technically and difficult art that you can create with, especially when you are also dealing with the figure, that when you look at your paintings, which aren't as, which don't have those kinds of demands that bronze has, it seems like you're able to be a little more playful, actually. So could you tell me a little bit about your creative process, Jill?
Okay, so usually I paint in plein air, which is outdoors and from life. And by the time I'm looking at my blank canvas, I'm already begun to compose the scene in my mind. And I'm considering, where's the sun now? Where will it be in a couple of hours? What's going to be happening to the shapes and shadows and the color of the light? And what fascinates me about painting the landscape is the effect of the light on the color, the effect of the sunlight. And I don't know if you've ever noticed that at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, if you look at a bank of Sitka spruce trees, they are not green, they are orange. And they're gold and yellow and orange. And I just love what the sun will do to the color of things. That you'd like, if you're just painting what you see, you're not painting green grass and green trees with brown trunks. If you really see, they're just this whole spectrum of colors. And,
So it seems
Yeah,
like,
layers.
like in your paintings that that you have like a favorite time of day, a favorite light, and you like to try to find that in the landscape.
yeah, I like painting early or late in the day. I think midday, the light is kind of boring and there aren't any shadows, and everything is just kind of flat lit. But I love painting early in the morning or late in the afternoon. So yeah,
Makes
I love
sense.
the light.
Randy, do you have a question?
Yeah, this is coming from the standpoint of somebody who really understands sculpture and painting. I know with sculpture, with your bronzes in particular, there's probably a lot of people viewing this that don't understand that your bronze is also a resort of the foundry, and your instructions to the foundry with the patinas and with some of the textures and even the base that it sits on. And so you have to kind of give some of your control over to a foundry. And you just mentioned that you were showing in Loveland. Congratulations on that. That's where the who's who are in sculpture. Is that where your foundry is?
Well, no, and I haven't shown there in a number of years. My website is not up to date. If you look at my paintings on Instagram, Instagram.com/Jill Perry Townsend, you'll see my most current paintings. But my sculptures, I did show at Loveland for a number of years. And I really loved the show. Just really loved the show. I forget what your question actually was.
Well,
What was your question?
My question was also constructed around what you were saying about painting and how you're able to have freedom with the painting that you really enjoy. That's a lot of it takes place in your head first. And with sculpture, is it the same thing with the bronze? You have, when you're working with clay, do you see the bronze in your mind, or are you only looking at the clay, or is it both? And
so, I think if I was better at what I do, I would be thinking about it in terms of the ultimate bronze as I worked. I think that's really the advanced sculptors are doing that. And I'm a very, I paint from emotion a lot, and sculpt from emotion. And so my sculptures were mostly done on armatures with oil-based clay. And like, I don't know if you're looking at them now, but like Balmy Night, that I did not paint that from a model. I painted that from a feeling. I had a feeling of what it was like to have the breeze blow over from the ocean onto me in Hawaii. Actually, I lived in Hawaii for a while. And so that feeling, and the feeling in Fire Dance, it was just that feeling of just like explosive power and grace. And then there's,
I can hear that painting. Yeah, for sure.
So, and my foundry is in Enterprise, Oregon. It's Parks Bronze Foundry. And the best patineur on the planet works there. And I should probably not give them too much advertising, because right now they have like 1,000 sculptures that they have to get cast, and there is a 52-week lead time. Yeah, people, was talking to the
That's
the
so
head
good.
guy there, and he said people are pulling their molds because it's an enterprise, and I guess workers can't afford to live there, so they can't find workers to do the work. And it is a horrible shame that they can't do it, because, like I say, the best patiner on the planet, in my opinion, works there. And that's why I kept going back to that foundry, because I could really work with him. He could hear what I wanted to express, and he would like nail it.
Wow. So, Jill, can you tell me a little bit about color and value in your painting?
Sure. I would say color is my passion. That's what motivates me. That and my love of the ocean motivates my paintings. And what I look for is what effect the sun is having, the light is having on the color. So I don't paint in local color. I don't like see a blue ocean and blue sky and what I look for is how the light is affecting the color. What is happening as a result of the light? And I look for that. I say, okay, yeah, it's a blue sky, but what else is there?
Yeah. Well, what I love about your palette is you're able to create scenes that I want to be in also.
Yes, I agree.
Like you look at the beach and the water,
Totally.
and and there's some kind of a perfection, like a real profound beauty, and it's a place that I want to be.
Thanks. That's beautiful. And it's where I want to be too. I've been here for many, many years, and I've hiked this coastline. I'm looking at the ocean right now, so I've hiked this coastline thousands of times, and out on the headlands, on the beaches, up in the hills, in the old growth forest, and it's such a privilege to get to be here and to just experience the air and seeing the water and the atmosphere. There's a lot of atmosphere on the Oregon coast.
Yes.
So,
Randy, do you have something? Randy? I think Randy is gone here.
Anyway, I wrote a little bit about for me, what the importance of color. And I said, color to me is the main thing, color and light and atmosphere. It's what attracts me and keeps me interested. I look to see what is the main underlying color of the light, not the local color, like grass is green, but how the sun or the shade influences the color. I love the warm late light of late afternoon when spruce trees look cadmium yellow deep to orange from the low light.
Yeah.
So I guess we lost Randy.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll come back. You love color, but also form is very important in your paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about composition and the kinds of things that you look for in with form?
Mm-hmm. So I would say that what I'm looking for in composition is I want the basic foundation of the painting to be simple. I want it to have basic simple number of shapes, like 3 to 5 simple shapes.
That's nice. That's really, yeah. And you do that, yes.
Because otherwise it gets too busy, and it's not conveying what I want to convey, which is the feeling of the light and the atmosphere, which is that I want you to feel like you're here, that you're experiencing this too. And I'm just trying to convey my experience of it. So so also when those shapes, those 3 to 5 simple shapes, I want them to be unequal and interesting. So and I want them to interlock.
Well, I'm thinking right now of there's 2 or 3 paintings actually, in which you have the land form that kind of dominates, and then the water and the sky atmosphere. You know, it helps us to, you know, to experience like this whole land form, water, sky. You know, there's a beautiful a way of working there.
Mm-hmm.
So now tell me about brushstrokes. When you're how does that play into what you are trying to express?
So I paint with a knife.
Ah, really?
And, yeah, I paint with a painting knife. Some people call it a palette knife, but it's also called a painting knife. Real flexible. And so I would say I wrote about this too. So I'm looking for what I said about this. I paint with a painting knife, usually rather than a brush. My calligraphy has gotten looser in the past couple of years, and I'm going with that. And yeah, so it allows me to get into the rhythm and movement of the waves or the wind on the grasses. And while the loose calligraphic painting knife can convey turbulence and movement, I can also use it to convey stillness and calm. So so when I'm looking down, I have some favorite spots where I'm looking down into a cove, water is swirling around the rocks, and I'm just like, oh wow, you know, and I'm just like going, and it's sort of like my hand is going before it even connects to the brain, you know, and that's the beauty of plein air painting, in my opinion, is that it can be so loose and free. And I feel like in the past couple years, I have just really gotten a lot looser, and I like it. It makes me kind of, it feels free. So.
Well, I find that interesting to go back to your sculpture is, you know, with sculpture, everything is so technical, and you know, there's so much you need to do to get right to have a successful sculpture. With painting is kind of from the way you're describing is kind of the opposite experience in some ways, at least, you know, like the process. Is that fair to say?
Yes, because there's like, somebody was telling me about how to make a mold one time, and she said, okay, there's 208 steps. So, and you have to do them in the right order. So yes, it's very technical. Sculpture is very technical. And I feel like I put a lot of myself and my feeling into my sculptures. And what's also true
Yeah.
is a sculpture might take me a year to do, and a painting will take like 3 hours. So it's
Yeah.
a very great difference in time. And
Yeah, even, and to go back again to something we touched on earlier is, you choose a very difficult form to express in sculpture, the figure, which is really hard.
only I do a lot of, well, and I used to be a personal trainer for a while too. So I studied anatomy as a personal trainer, and I'm a feeler. I really feel things. So I would feel it in my body when I would sculpt it. But you are right. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes into sculpting, and there's a lot of removed. It's far removed. A lot of people are working on it between the time I finish it and the time it comes out as a bronze. So it's a joint effort, definitely. Whereas when I paint, it's just me.
Yes, it is. So now a lot of what we're doing with the project is it's about bringing awareness to the ocean, creating a community of coastal watchers, where all of us as artists, we're also watching the coast, and we're also raising money for groups that are working on behalf of the ocean. Can you talk a little bit about art and activism?
Well, I feel grateful to you that you are that you're doing this project, and that you're allowing me to paint and to express my love of the ocean and my gratitude for this ocean. And that this project is activism. I don't think, me personally, I don't think my art is really activism. When I think of activism in art, I think of Picasso's Guernica, for example.
Yeah.
That's, or Rosie the Riveter. But I don't really think that when I paint, I'm painting from an activism perspective. But I am really grateful to be contributing my painting to this project that can be used for activism, because this is, like I said, I worked for the Center for Marine Conservation, worked there for 10 years, and it was a passionate interest of mine to protect the ocean. That's other people are way more able to express activism in their art than I. But I
think what happens is, all of us, we go to these locations and we have these, transcendental experiences, spiritual experiences, very emotional experiences, while we're painting, but yet we do want to do more, but we also want to paint, and we also want to express ourselves. And I think with the project, it allows us to be a little selfish and experience the landscape through art, but also we can put it with others of like mind and create something spectacular.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be part of this project. I really am.
Oh, good. We are very happy to have you as part of the project. Your paintings are absolutely awesome, and it's great to have them shown. Well, I think we're winding down. We will be showing Jill Townsend's work at the Lincoln City Cultural Center. It will be on display from July 13th through the 17th. I encourage all those that are listening to this interview to come join us and check it out. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you, John.
And we'll see everybody at Lincoln City, I hope.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.